So here's what we do. Since right now we are not too many people, so that's something we can talk about quickly, and then regardless how many people are here. So there is a variety of those sharpening steels out there, and I guess I mentioned it already the first time. The steel is not really to make a dull knife sharp. It will only maintain a present sharpness by creating a little bit of a better sharpness by realigning the edge of the actually knife. So my experience is that those aluminum base with little diamond dust coated steels are the most effective ones. So now if we just grab a generic knife, the concept was that we said we need to steel the knife from the heel to the tip completely by in a kind of a circle sliding the knife over the steel. Yeah, do that slow. It's not about quick zack zack and just making lots of noise. You rather want to control what you actually do here. You want to stick to a narrow angle, which is about 20-21 degrees would be perfect. No question, nobody really will be able to maintain that definitely and then exactly. But if you think about that the right angle is 90 degrees, half of that would be 45, another half again would be about 22. So we're pretty close if you just stick to that kind of an angle and try that repeatedly. If you have difficulty doing this free air, yeah, you can also set the tip on the cutting board right down and start one left, one right, one left, one right. I know it's easier to keep the same angle if you would do it multiple times on one side, but after all, you want to make sure that you use it on both sides equally. Yeah. So if you just want to grab a steel and get a little practice just to get an idea how a sturdy blade, not too flexible. The fish knife, which is the same shape but softer, can bend, and that creates a possibility of actually filleting the fish better. So for the meat, we don't really want to have that to be too soft and not too short. I have seen a couple of models which are very short. That doesn't really work well. So let's get the chicken out of the fridge and let's get started with cooking. So who wants to be on chicken and who wants to do the tenderloin? Any volunteers?
I want to do pork.
Okay, chicken.
I'd like to do chicken.
Okay, you with me? Chicken. Okay, I have two. You both come around here. One left, one right. And I will show actually the cut without doing it, and you guys will then work with that. So I recommend at this point, I have a couple, you don't need to use that at home at all times. But if you want to use gloves for tonight, just if that makes you feel a little bit more comfortable. Some people have problems touching chicken or whatever. I don't. So here's the point. Number one, we wash the chicken. Every time when we wash meat or chicken, cold water. Yeah. So not warm water. It should be as cold as possible. Food safety is a concern here, so we keep it as cold as possible at all times. We wash the chicken with cold water inside and outside. So it makes it's important to wash everything out which is in the inside. Sometimes you have some giblets, yeah. They are usually muscles or organs. So like the stomach and the heart are muscles. They are great to cook in a soup. A lot of meat, a lot of taste, and sometimes you have like the kidneys or some liver in there. Kidney rarely with chicken, even though I ate those in China. You will, we barely use that for you. So, give us a second, then you get the real shot here. So, all you need to do is just tap this a little bit dry. That makes it easier, it doesn't slip around. Yeah, it makes it easier to work with. So, let's take this out of the view. So, I mentioned it earlier, we are using a boning knife. So, one of them you will get, and here you see the same shape. Yeah. We will use this one. Okay, so we have this done, and don't keep the paper too long on it because that sheet paper in there will just stick to the chicken. All right, goes right in the trash. Here we go. So if you look at the chicken, the first thing we notice is there's lots of fat here on the bottom. Yeah, we don't really want to have the fat, so this simply you rip off. Very simple. Just grab it and rip it off. Yeah, there's not even a knife needed so far. So now you see here from the wings, there are the last ends which we don't really use as well. We usually cut those off. So ground rule, we never cut bone. We cut joint or the meat. Yeah. So now you have to find the place where the joint. Can everybody see that? If you want to come a little bit round so that I'm a right hand, most of that will be easier to see it from that side. So here is the joint. You see that? So I will only cut one off. You do the other side in a moment. Okay. So if you cut, you see that? It's joint. It cuts very easily. Yeah. So if you feel resistance, then you're on the bone. Not a good way. Yeah. Then you have to find the right way. So get started with the knife, and so you want to cut off. Why don't you come here and cut off the other side? We put everything just in the bowl for now. The other chicken part. Just a little hint, since we are having the chance. If you make a roasted chicken at home, normally you want to dress the chicken, which means you want to bind it together so that it comes out as one nice compact piece, which keeps it juicier, versus like all 4 legs just open up here. Yeah. So in order to get there, you usually bind that together with twine. Thank you. If you don't have any handy, yeah, there's a simple trick. All you need to do is you cut a hole in the thick part of the skin here, and one in the other side, and now you cross the leg. One leg goes to the other side, and the other leg goes to this side. You don't need to do this. I just show this here before we cut it apart. So where's the hole? Don't cut the hole too far to the edge, then it will rip. Yeah. So you really want to have it deeper in there here. And now on the other side, we just pull that over. And guess what? Without any twine, your chicken is in shape. That's all it takes. Yeah. Even if it's filled, everything will remain inside. Yeah. So, but for tonight, we want to do something else. So now the rule is, we don't cut bone and we don't cut the actual muscle if we can avoid. What we want to cut is the tissue which connects the muscle. So we follow the lines which are actually already there. So on the side where we have the 2 legs, there's only skin holding everything together. Yeah. So you just cut in the skin, and there you have it. The leg almost falls off the body. You see that? Yeah. So now once you have opened up the skin, we need to cut off the leg to the bottom from the actually back of the spine. Yeah. So you see that here? That's where it's connected. That's what we need to cut off. So we want to have as much as meat on the leg and not on the carcass, because that goes in the soup. Yeah. We want to have the chicken leg to chew on, right? So you don't really cut straight down. You cut along the tissue, along the bone. So that means, can you want to come around? Look at my knife. That means we need to go down there. And not just straight downwards, we go in there. So
this popping, I'm sorry to interrupt.
That comes in a second.
Okay.
So now we first cut in there until we feel resistant, the bone here. And now you simply snap, and that opens up the joint. And now you can, with the tip of a knife, cut, and I want to keep that for you, cut the rest off. Yeah. So you want to hold this from the side, grab the knife, and cut the meat of the bone along that line. You can see that here? It's already there. Go ahead. So you want to try that. So open up the meat.